Star who lost everything in his life but lived life like a hero. Eddie Albert was born Edward Albert Heimberger on April 22, 1906, in Rock Island, Illinois, was a highly respected American actor whose career spanned over 7 decades. His versatility as an actor, combined with his natural charm and charisma, made him a beloved figure in both film and television. Eddie Albert's career is particularly notable for his ability to seamlessly transition between a wide range of genres, from comedies and dramas to action-packed war films and musicals. However, he is perhaps best remembered for his starring role as Oliver Wendell Douglas in the classic television sitcom Green Acres. Beyond his acting career, Eddie Albert was a dedicated environmentalist and humanitarian, devoting much of his life to important causes that reflected his deep concern for the world around him. Eddie Albert's early life was marked by his modest upbringing in the Midwest. His father worked as a real estate agent, and Eddie had a traditional childhood. As a young man, he attended the University of Minnesota, where he studied business. However, Albert's true passion lay in performing, and it wasn't long before he turned his attention toward acting. His early career began in the theater, where he developed his craft and caught the attention of industry insiders. His early work in vaudeville and radio helped him hone his timing and stage presence, qualities that would serve him well throughout his career. Eddie Albert's film debut came in 1938 when he appeared in the movie Brother Rat, which quickly brought him to the attention of major Hollywood studios. His wholesome looks and natural acting style made him a popular leading man in films during the 1940s and 1950s. Albert showcased his versatility in a range of roles, from light-hearted comedies like Roman Holiday, 1953, in which he played a wisecracking photographer, to serious war dramas such as Attack, 1956, where his portrayal of a cowardly officer earned him critical acclaim. One of his most memorable performances came in The Heartbreak Kid, 1972, for which he received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, cementing his status as one of Hollywood's most talented and enduring actors. Though he had achieved considerable success in film, it was Eddie Albert's television career that truly made him a household name. In 1965, he was cast as the lead in the sitcom Green Acres, a role that would define his television legacy. The show followed the misadventures of Oliver Wendell Douglas, a successful New York City lawyer who, much to the dismay of his glamorous wife Lisa, played by Eva Gabor, moves to the countryside to fulfill his dream of becoming a farmer. Albert's straight-man portrayal of the bewildered Oliver, struggling with the absurdities of rural life and eccentric neighbors, created a perfect comedic dynamic with Gabor's character. The show was a major hit, running for 6 seasons and remaining popular in syndication for decades. Albert's performance earned him a devoted fanbase, and he became synonymous with the lovable, earnest, and occasionally exasperated Oliver Wendell Douglas. In the later stages of his career, Eddie Albert continued to work steadily in both film and television, earning respect for his professionalism and talent. He appeared in numerous television shows, guest starring in popular series like The Love Boat and Murder, She Wrote. Even as he aged, Albert's passion for acting remained undiminished, and he continued to take on diverse roles that showcased his range as a performer. In addition to his continued acting work, Albert remained deeply involved in environmental causes well into his 80s. His dedication to these issues left a lasting impact, and he was often praised for using his celebrity status to promote causes that were important to him. Eddie Albert's personal life was as rich and fulfilling as his professional career. He married actress Margot in 1945, and the two remained devoted to each other until her death in 1985. They had 2 children, including actor Edward Albert, who followed in his father's footsteps in both acting and environmental activism. Albert was known as a loving and supportive father, and his strong family bonds were a defining aspect of his life. Eddie Albert, best known for his roles in television and film, was a remarkable figure whose life went far beyond his Hollywood persona. Despite facing significant challenges and personal losses, he lived with an indomitable spirit, demonstrating that a person's true worth lies not in what they accumulate, but in how they respond to adversity. Albert's journey from stardom to personal hardship and ultimately to heroism serves as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Albert achieved stardom in the entertainment industry, particularly for his roles in popular TV shows and movies such as Green Acres, where he portrayed the lovable Oliver Wendell Douglas, a man who gave up city life for the rural countryside. He also had significant roles in films like Roman Holiday and The Heartbreak Kid, earning him a reputation as a versatile and respected actor. His ability to portray a range of characters, from comedic roles to more serious and nuanced performances, cemented his place in Hollywood. However, behind the glitz and glamour of show business, Albert faced immense personal hardships that would have broken many individuals. One of the most significant trials in Eddie Albert's life was his struggle with financial losses. Despite his success, Albert encountered severe financial difficulties later in life, losing a large portion of his wealth. This loss was devastating, especially for someone who had worked hard to build a career in such a competitive industry. Many actors, when confronted with such challenges, find themselves unable to cope with the realities of diminished wealth and lifestyle changes. Yet, Albert's response was not one of despair or bitterness. Instead, he displayed an incredible amount of grace, viewing these challenges as part of life's ebb and flow. Even though he lost much of his wealth, Eddie Albert never let material possessions define him. He continued to live a life filled with purpose and meaning. He shifted his focus from personal gains to giving back to the world around him. In many ways, the losses he faced only served to highlight his heroism in life. Albert became deeply involved in environmental activism and humanitarian work. He used his platform and voice to advocate for causes he believed in, such as fighting for environmental conservation and supporting farmworkers' rights. He worked tirelessly to raise awareness about ecological issues long before environmentalism became a mainstream cause, demonstrating a deep concern for the planet and future generations. One of Albert's most heroic chapters came during World War II. Long before he was known as an actor, he served in the United States Navy as a lieutenant and took part in some of the most dangerous battles of the war. During the invasion of Tarawa, a particularly brutal and bloody campaign, Albert risked his life to save wounded Marines under heavy enemy fire. He courageously piloted a landing craft, going back and forth to retrieve soldiers who were trapped or injured on the beach. For his bravery and selflessness, he was awarded the Bronze Star with a Combat V. This act of heroism further cemented his status as a true American hero, not just for his actions on screen but for his bravery and integrity in real life. Another major personal loss for Eddie Albert was the death of his wife, Margot. The two were married for nearly 40 years, and their relationship was the cornerstone of his personal life. Margot, also an actress, had been a significant influence on Albert, sharing his passion for activism and humanitarian causes. When she passed away in 1985, Albert was heartbroken. Losing someone he loved so deeply was a crushing blow, but once again, he showed his resilience by continuing his work in both Hollywood and activism. He honored her memory by maintaining his commitment to the causes they had both cherished. Eddie Albert's relationship with his son, Edward Albert Jr., was also a testament to the heroism he displayed in his personal life. Edward followed in his father's footsteps, becoming an actor and environmental activist. Tragically, Edward Albert Jr. was diagnosed with cancer, and Eddie Albert, despite his advancing age, became his primary caregiver. He took on the role of caretaker with the same dedication and love that defined his entire life. Even as his son's health deteriorated, Eddie remained by his side, offering support and love until Edward passed away in 2006. This period of caring for his son exemplified the selflessness and compassion that had defined Eddie Albert's life. In the face of these challenges, Eddie Albert remained a symbol of strength and humility. He never allowed the tragedies and losses he experienced to overshadow the good he could do in the world. Whether through his activism, his war heroism, or his personal sacrifices, Albert's life was defined by a commitment to making the world a better place. He may have lost material wealth and faced personal heartbreak, but he lived his life as a hero, not because of what he accomplished on screen, but because of how he lived off-screen. Eddie Albert continued acting well into his later years, appearing in both film and television into the 1980s and 1990s. His work on screen remained beloved by audiences, and his dedication to social and environmental causes continued unabated. Albert passed away on May 26, 2005, at the age of 99, leaving behind a legacy that extended far beyond the entertainment world. He was remembered not only for his impressive acting career but also for his tireless activism and his commitment to making the world a better place. Albert's legacy is one of endurance, compassion, and courage. He showed that true heroism does not come from fame or fortune, but from the ability to face life's challenges with grace, and to dedicate oneself to the betterment of others. In every aspect of his life, Eddie Albert demonstrated that even in the face of loss, it is possible to live like a hero.